So over in our CEO club, which is my private members club. Oh, so I've got 3 people watching. Say hello if you are watching, please. That would be awesome. Over in my CEO club, we had a post from someone that was asking about, she felt like she'd lost some, she felt like she's going to lose some momentum post-lockdown. And it's really interesting because we've been asked to change our lifestyles 5 or 6 weeks ago now. And we all kind of rose to the challenge of it. And now things are going back to normal and we're being asked to change our lifestyles all over again. And I don't know about you, but for me, it feels kind of surreal. Like I've had some real ups and downs through lockdown. And let me know if you've had some ups and downs through lockdown as well. Let me know what they are. Like my downs have been obviously worried about health and worried about, financial stuff. I've got family in the UK, so I'm incredibly worried about them because it's still rampant over in the UK, although it's going down, but super slowly. I have felt bad because I haven't been able to see people. I'm a real hugger, haven't been able to go out on long hikes like I used to, and all of that stuff has really weighed heavy on me. But there's also been some ups as well, I'm pleased to say. So things like I've spent a lot more quality time with my family than I have done for a really long time, perhaps if ever. And it's been great for us, I have to say. I haven't had to cook dinner as much, which is fantastic because my husband works shift work. So normally I'm the one that cooks dinner all the time. And he's a great cook, apparently. So I think he'll be doing some more of that. He doesn't know yet. But also I discovered that I am a lot more productive than I thought I would be when I'm kind of tasked with only having, say, maybe 3 or 4 hours a day to work instead of having all day to work. So there's been some ups coming out of lockdown as well for me. Let me know what your ups and downs have been. My camera's gone really dark. Can you guys still see it? So maybe it may be that there's a whole bunch of feelings for you coming up around coming out of lockdown. So perhaps you feel guilty because you feel like you should have done more whilst you had this so-called downtime. Maybe you made a lockdown list at the beginning. I did, and it involved painting and it involved all sorts of things, most of which I haven't done, I have to say. So maybe you feel guilty because you haven't done your lockdown list. You haven't learned a new language, you haven't written a book, you haven't done all these amazing things that you said you were going to do. If that's you, and if you need it, I give you full permission to let it go. Let go of your guilt around not doing the things that you thought you were going to do when this all blew up, because none of us had a rule book for how this was going to be. We've had to make it up on the spot, and we've had to do what we can to get through the days and the weeks. So I give you full permission to let go of any guilt that you might be holding. Maybe you feel super overwhelmed at the thought of everything that's going to be put back on your plate. Now, this isn't going to be everybody, but for those of you who have been working at home and perhaps you're now going back to the office, the thought of the long commute is overwhelming for you. Perhaps you've been able to work on your passion business, your side project, because you haven't had to do a long commute, and you've been able to do a bit more on that. And the thought of having to juggle that and your job is now overwhelming you. Perhaps the thought of having to do the school run, which eats into your day again, and having to do all the packed lunches and all that kind of stuff, and the homework, perhaps the thought of that is overwhelming. And that's normal. It's going to be normal. But for some of us, and let me know if this is you, lockdown may have also been a massive opportunity for you. It might have been a great opportunity for you to have some rest. And it might have been some opportunity for you, like for me, to have some quality time with your family. And it might have been a great opportunity for you to have had some space and some rest to be able to, even if you haven't been physically resting, maybe it's been a great opportunity for you to pause and to give you some space to be inspired, to let the creativity flow, to change our habits. And now is a great time when we've been given this opportunity to pause. It is a great time to be able to change our habits and rewrite what we want to happen next. And so I want to give you a few questions to kind of lean into as we come out of lockdown over in Australia. And I know things are different in different countries, but you can take what you need out of this. Pause and reassess. Exactly, Sarah. So pausing gives us possibility if we allow it. Pausing gives us possibility. So I want you to take these 3 questions and do with them what you need to do. Okay, so lean into the ones that appeal to you. So firstly, lean into what lockdown has given you. What has lockdown given you? And think about and be grateful for that. Firstly, be grateful for that. And think about how you can have more of that in your day after lockdown. So what has lockdown given you that you've benefited from? And how can you build that into your day post-lockdown? So for me, it would be things like daily walks. It would be things like making sure that I'm using my time as productively as possible, because lockdown has proven to me that even though I thought I was efficient before, I can be much more efficient. So what has lockdown given you that you can build into your day after this? The second question is, where have you seen the possibilities? What has this pause meant for you in terms of possibilities for yourself or for your business? And how can you plan for those to happen now? Because it's all very well having a great idea, but you need to be able to plan for that to actually materialize into your life. So how can you implement your great idea? And then the third question, which is super important, and I'm still learning the lesson. What can you do to be kinder to yourself going forward? I have seen a great many posts from particularly women and mums around beating themselves up because they're struggling to school their kids at home. They're struggling to run their business as well as do this with their children. They are just going mad because they got their children around all the time. And it's okay, because guess what? We didn't sign up to be teachers. We signed up to be photographers and website developers and coaches and graphic designers and product retailers and all of these kind of things. We didn't sign up to be teachers. So it's okay that you have not found teaching your loved ones as easy or as joyful as you may have hoped it was going to be. It is okay. So firstly, give yourself permission to just let that go. Okay, so what can you do to be kinder to yourself going forward? And I posted about this on my profile yesterday because I gave myself a day off yesterday, because when we can do this when we're in charge of our own business. And a great question when you're not feeling it, when you're really not feeling it, and it's not procrastination, it's more than procrastination, is what does, and then insert your own name. So what does George need in this moment? What does George really need in this moment? And when I asked myself that yesterday, the answer was just rest. Just rest. Stay off Facebook. Don't need to check your emails. No one's going to miss you for a day. It will be fine. And if something urgent comes up, people know where you are. So what does, insert your name, need most in this moment? I don't want you to wait until you hit the wall or until you get completely burnt out. And I don't want you to wait for someone to give you permission. I don't know why, but for many of my clients, they need me or someone to give them permission to take some time off or to be more gentle with themselves. But you can do it for yourself with this really easy question. All you have to do is remember to ask it. What does Sam need in this moment? What does Sarah need in this moment? All right. So those are the 3 questions that I want you to take to live into. What has lockdown given you that has benefited you, and how can you build that into your days going forward? Where have you seen the possibilities for yourself or for your business, and what plans do you need to put in place to make that possibility a reality? And the third thing is how to be kinder to yourself going forward. And the question to ask is, what does George need in this moment? What does your name need in this moment?